Hello and welcome, my loves. It's your neighborhood friendly Calliope, back at it again with another video describing the adventures of my life, which are few and far between. However, I'd love to be able to share them with you anyway. So, we have quite a storm going on right now in the Midwest, so it's going to be a little noisy from time to time, but hopefully it's still semi-soothing, still semi-coherent, I guess you could say. So, before we begin on this magical adventure, I'd like to just celebrate our changing of seasons real quick. And this is about the time that I can start lighting my candles again. So I'm going to light one of the candles I haven't used in a while with you guys. Ooh, there we are. And there we go. So, to begin, I'm just going to start by saying, please don't mind the background. I'm kind of working on a little something, so right now it's kind of a rough draft, but hopefully it'll be something here soon. And to begin, I'd love to tell you guys about where I've been. So, I have some of the programs of the sort of festival, if you will, that I went to. This year, as I do every year, I went to the Midwest Old Threshers reunion down in Mount Pleasant, Iowa, which is quite a drive from where I'm at, but it's well worth it, and we end up staying the night there. So we arrived on Friday morning and stayed until Saturday night. And it's quite a large area, this sort of festival. So this is the map, and this is the area. So this whole down part is mostly campground, and down here there's a little village, but all of this is, I mean, you can walk it, but it's very far. And most of the grounds themselves are up here. So we came in. Let me just get this all situated. There we go. Okay. Where did we come in? Here we go. So we camp right down in this area, past the tram tracks, and usually we come in this way, and we start. This is the stationary steam building, and this is a little flea market area building as well, which I just realized we had never gone through this year, so I was wondering what we had missed. That would be it. There is a steam area, a traction steam area for your threshers, your actual threshers. There's a tractor area. There is a hit and miss field. Let's see, where did they put that? See, or horsepower, steam tractors, gas engine area, that would be 11. Okay, that's what I thought. So that would be your hit and miss engines and your other gas engines. And there's some barns up here with antiques. There's different demonstrations around. They have more of a Civil War era village up here, like a blacksmithing area and a jail and a bank, a church that they brought from Wayland, Iowa. And down here, this log village is more like a, I want to say maybe Revolutionary era, but I could be wrong. It's kind of a smorgasbord. And they have all sorts of things going on. They have different food areas. They have the grandstand where they do concerts every night. And they have the sorghum mill. They have different barns, horses, mules. They have a museum with antique cars and antique trucks. Let's see. Different museums there, stations, trolleys, town hall, getting into the village, the sawmill and the veneer mill, the rides, the trains. So they do have a working track, and let's see, that's the ground train. The blue is the ground train where they have a tractor pulling a bunch of cars. And it's 50 cents per ride, and they'll go around the track, around the area. And then this orange track is the actual train route. So I'm not saying trains by like the trains you'd see on the side of the road now. I'm talking like your, not original of course, but your older style steam locomotives. I know for sure they have a wood-firing one, and they have a coal-burning, I guess, one. So the difference being, usually, the way you can tell is the stacks. So if it's kind of fluted, or it comes out in kind of a triangle, that would be your wood-burning. And then if you have just a straight stack, that would be your coal-burning. I am a big fan of steam engine locomotives, and they're one of my favorite things to look at and to see. I get so excited by them. So at the end of this video, I will do kind of a guided tour with some videos that I took. I will try to make sure to actually edit the videos in this time. Rather, when I talked about Chicago, I didn't have time to edit. And the editor I use, whatever. So, there's a shuttle bus that goes into downtown Mount Pleasant, where they have the town square is covered in different vendors and shops and things. Different crafty things. Let's see, the campground, the log village. Okay, the grandstand. Okay, I think we've kind of covered it. So, the front page of these daily programs is a guy who is singing. They have all kinds of live entertainment there. In the stationary steam room, they have like a gazebo, or a gazebo, however you want to say it. And they have people play there and sing there. And for the grandstand entertainment, they had, if you're a fan of country music, they had Josh Grayson, right? Grayson, and High Valley. So Sam was getting kind of bored, and we were a little buzzed. They started allowing alcohol in the grandstand, so we tried some hard apple cider. And we just really saw Josh Grayson. I like High Valley, but I didn't need to see them play. So, it was raining the whole time, and we sat in front of a 70-year-old man wearing a Misfits shirt, which was pretty rock and roll, dude. Like, hell yeah, I'm gonna be that man. Seriously. And the back page of this program is a little bit of history about John Deere, which is a common brand you see at Threshers. This is a picture of one of the demonstrations. So you've got your threshing machine, or your engine, your traction engine, and see, it looks like they are doing something with straw. I don't remember which demonstration that is. They have all kinds of live demonstrations. Same map. They have, this whole program is just filled with all the activities. Sawyer Brown was playing last night, which was Saturday. And then again, the John Deere thing. So I'm going to keep this just to keep me on track for where we went. So one of the highlights of the reunion, the festival, is I have one of the train tickets here. So this has a little quiz on it, like what year did MCRR first operate a train at the reunion, which would be 1960. Like how many cabooses it has. Last question, what does it mean if a train engine is a 260, which is just your classification of trains. So, don't remember what kind of system that's called, but it's your front wheels, your drive wheels, and your support. So you have two, it goes in pairs, so you have two sets of wheels. Be one set, two wheels on the front. You have three pairs, 6 wheels on your drive, which is the middle, and on the back would be 0. So I want to show you a little bit about what I got. So I was pretty broke, and actually I lost a lot of my money, fell out of my pocket, and ended up blowing away, which really sucked, but I did get some things, which I was super stoked about. I love getting things there. So, let's start with this is pure Iowa honey from Ebert Farms, I suppose. Ebert Honey, Linville, Iowa. 16 ounces. It was $6 for a bottle of this. They actually have very good prices for what you get. They sell different types of, like, they have stacks of beeswax, and they have beeswax candles and honeycomb. Honey with the honeycomb. Oh, sticks of honey candy. I never tried that before yet. I got this from my little brother. He has a lot of issues with allergies, and My mama had read somewhere that it could help if he has some honey from the local area, as the bees are extracting pollen from the native plants. It may help him with his allergies to the native plants. But if not, honey is honey. Pretty excited to use this in a video here sometime. Probably already know what this is. Got this at the log village. There is a lot of tents with Native American crafts and wares. This, however, was made in India. It is an incense board. This has your star patterns and a lotus there, printed on the board. I thought about lighting some incense, however, I did not purchase much. Now, I wasn't thinking about getting it, but let's see, I think these are two different ones. Okay, I believe this is jasmine. This is the one that got me. This one is to smell like opium, and if you haven't watched my video, The Opium Queen, you wouldn't know it. Another opium. But I am quite fascinated by the history of opium. I myself am not interested in opioids, nor do I respond to them in a pain management sort of way. Cinnamon. But I am utterly fascinated by it. The last opium one has kind of a clean smell. It's a lot less bitter, very sweet. Almost sickly sweet, but not. Vanilla. Another jasmine. One vanilla, one jasmine. And one last vanilla. It's about this time that I notice I have quite a tremor. However, most people do. Well, not most, but a lot. Another item I purchased in the log village. It's this very peculiar little thing. This is a carved blister pearl sort of plate, I guess you could say. A plate of blistered pearl. So you can see where pearls started to grow, but then were grown on top of the leaf carvings. It's kind of gold, kind of opal, kind of green, blue. I got some different jewels here that had been removed from necklaces or brooches. So there's some agate, opalite, turquoise. I love pretty stones, and it wasn't much. It's really raining out there, isn't it? And these, you may not know what they are, or maybe you do. But these are the work of my very mischievous boyfriend. These were pennies that he laid on the track of the trolley. So, smushed these quite flat, which you may have done with trains when you were younger. I'd never actually seen them before. I never tried that trick. Okay, we have two more things. From one of the barns, or buildings, the stationary steam building. It's a little Halloween bracelet. I got it for my friend Amanda. Love her to death. And one last item. This is an Indiana glass carnival amber harvest goblet. I wanted to get the whole set, of course. This iridescent oil spill like glass. However, I could only get this cup. Isn't she gorgeous? This is my first piece of depression glass. I usually collect silver. I did not purchase any silver this year, though. Not at Threshers. So you've seen all my wares, and I'd love to tell you some of my stories about what I did while I was there and what I saw. My favorite place to be is the stationary steam building, which is this first big building. However, the first building we always go to is the consignment tent, which is in this area. It's actually called the Trading Post, but it used to be a tent. They did erect a building, however. So that's more like a giant garage sale where people bring all their junk or whatever and tag it, and you can look through everything. You can purchase different engines. I've seen big and small steam engines, gas engines. I've seen tractors, lawnmowers, cars. I've seen different buckets, books from the 1800s. I've seen furniture, of course, jewelry, plates, silver, brochures, cups, tins, all sorts of things. I didn't get anything from consignment this year, however, my brother-in-law got a mini bike, and my father-in-law got some Fairbank weights? I believe so. Some weights, lead weights, and some tires for his Model A, his Ford Model A. Original ones, that is, because he doesn't have the originals on. And he also got a little medicine bottle, an old one that would sit flat, but it was shaped like a dome with a little spout at the end so that you could give medicine to someone while they were lying down. And then me and Sam went off to the stationary steam building with my favorite engine, the big Allis-Chalmers water pump. And they had a couple new engines this year, which I was really excited about. I learned all sorts of things from a man named Jerry. He was wonderful. He brought us back into the Allis-Chalmers water pump, which was incredible. I have all kinds of pictures and a video of that running. I got to see, we went along, there's a big, well, not big, but there's a little wood shop kind of deal. Well, not even wood, like a machinist shop. And it's run by one engine. It's definitely a Corliss. I think it's a Murray Corliss engine. And there was another Murray Corliss engine that was right next to it that we learned all kinds about. I'm trying to think, there's so many. There's a Fairbanks Morse generator in the corner, and I got to see that run for the first time. There's all sorts of things, and there's this one that I'd never seen run, and it makes the most beautiful music, and I did get it on video, so I hope to edit that in as well. And I've got all sorts of pictures, I've got all sorts of things I'd love to show you guys. So, stationary steam, we go through the hit and miss engines. I love the hit and miss engines, which if you don't know what that is, it's an old engine that you'll hear kind of like a pop, and then you'll hear a whirring and it slows down, and a pop, and a whirring and a pop. And basically, it's not like an automatic cylinder where it would constantly go around. It's more that it'll give it a kick, and then as it slows down, it'll give it another kick, and as it slows down, it'll give it another kick. So these are sort of your gas engines that powered like washing machines and like water pumps, your kind of big well water pumps. Fascinating machines they are. There's all the big threshers that are like 2-3 people tall. There's all sorts of tractors, your little farm machines that are only like waist high. There's all sorts of things. So it's my favorite place to be in the whole world. I love it with all my heart, especially because at the end, the threshing machines, they burn up all the sawdust, so all you see is red sparks fly into the sky like 10-20 feet up, and it's just beautiful. And in the morning, a lot of times they'll blow the whistle so you know what time it is. And although I hate how environmentally harmful it is because we're burning so much wood and so much coal, and unfortunately it's just kind of a part of what this era was. it's a part of how these machines run. I mean, the machines don't choose how they run, so it's a beautiful thing. I wish it would be a little more, green, but I mean, it's there. It's gonna be there, and the least I can do is appreciate where we came from and where we go from here. I'm gonna leave it at that note. I'm not gonna give too much away and tell you all about my experiences, but I hope to do a little mini tour and kind of give a voiceover to what was going on and where I was at. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye now. The first place we're gonna go is the consignment area, which is a rather large building now, and you may see all kinds of things like safety cones or different engines, different bits and bobs. There's a lot of things outside of the building as well as inside, including all the things you see here. There's piping, there's trailers full of different odds and ends. You might find a gas engine like this, little pink tags that say how much they are. You might find something that looks kind of like a gas gauge. Do you find at a gas station? You may even find larger machines like this, one of the Galloway gas engines. You'll be able to see the carousel house with a steam-powered carousel that still works to this day. And now we can go to the hit and miss field, where there's all kinds of gas engines running. There's just a huge field of them with people set up under tents. You might see big engines like this one. Some of them run, some of them don't. You might see smaller ones like this one. This one could be used as a little washing machine, I believe. And you'll see all kinds of lines of them that are all stacked up against each other. Or you'll have real big ones on trailers like this. Here's another Galloway engine. This one I've seen for a few years now. And a Fairbanks Morse machine with the belts hooked up. Here's another machine that looks quite large. Yeah, here's another picture of it. And then you can see how really big it is. There's just tents set up everywhere, and there's just all kinds of popping and whirring and whistling noises wherever you go, wherever you turn. Here's my boyfriend taking a picture of one of the machines that's running. He took a lot of pictures, we both did. Here's one of the machines that's actually running. It has an offset gear system that Sam's always been fascinated by. It had Equipment of the Year this year. And here's one of the very beloved trains coming down the track. You can see it's a wood-burning one from the fluted stack with all the smoke coming out. It's got 2 front wheels and 2 sets of drive wheels and a set of back wheels for support. And this is the device they use to put water into the engine itself. So I was sitting in the car right before, or the first car. This is my view. As you can see, it's just kind of benches. and it's rather loud. I did turn down the volume. And as we start going, you can see how slow it is to start, but then how shaky it gets. We're riding along. You can see all kinds of tractors. You can see the tents. And here is Tractorland. All kinds of tractors, Cub Cadets, Mini-Mows, John Deere, IH. And here's the famed Calliope attached to one of the threshing machines. And these pictures are from last year, but I didn't have any new ones of the threshers this year. So you can see there's people around them. They're quite big. I'm on the ground right up next to them, so you can see they're quite large. And there's just lines of them. These big wheels that are about the size of a person. And they have the roofs on them. Really tall stacks. Minneapolis threshing machine with the big tracks on the wheels. It's in really good condition. And another one that stays there. This one stays at the grounds itself. It's not owned by anybody that brings them. Another Case engine. A lot of them have an eagle and the Case logo on the front of the boiler. And here's one of the trolleys. This is the Chicago, Aurora, and Elgin trolley. So if you take this trolley, then we can go to the log village. It's $3 a ride when you go through the main station, but we tend not to do that. A beautiful tram car. These ones are anywhere from the 1910 range all the way up to like 1940, 1945, from different places of the world. So when you get off the trolley, you can come to the log village here, and there's all sorts of little village buildings and people selling things. There's a mule barn, there's a wood shop. You've got all kinds of things going on. Besides the shop, they have little shows going on, they have food. Here's another one of those buildings. People are constantly crawling all over. Here's the wood shop. I was sitting at a bench right beside it while my boyfriend was talking to one of the men. And now we're in the stationary steam room where we are looking at a generator right now. And here's a view of how many machines there are. Well, at least part of the view. You can see the governor is whirring currently. You can see the belt hooked up to one of the engines behind it. Here's a new one. Looks like it is a ball engine. Looks like. And here's the Page engineering engine. This one I've never heard running. And this is my favorite, or one of my favorites. This is a Murray Corliss engine. And the engine behind it actually powers the little wood shop that says the powerhouse. This is a look into my favorite engine, the Alice Chalmers water pump on the side. And here's a look at some of the gauges on it from behind the rope. Here's a look at the inside with the flywheel. It's really, really hot in there. It can get 110 right next to the machine. So this is just a little walkway. I mean, it's about 2 feet, so it gets really, really hot. Here's a better close of those gauges. The Alice Chalmers sign on top. This is another look in there. You can see all the rivets, the flywheel, the hole in the concrete. And here she is running. She makes beautiful music. It's my favorite engine. And I'll look around the room. So you see the Murray Corliss back there. And some of the other ones running as well.